Hello everyone and welcome to week 10 of the Top Chat Games podcast. 1 week delayed thanks to my co-host's illness. My name's Matt and that terrible cough was Joe.
Alright, mate.
I'm alright, how are you?
I'm better.
You're better. What was wrong with you?
Very ill. Super bad fever for a whole week.
A whole week?
Yeah.
Man flu, mate. But you're recovered.
Pretty much, yeah.
You're feeling good. You ready for this what's going to be an excellent podcast?
Oh, it's going to be the best episode ever.
Because we've got 2 weeks worth of news to catch up on. We're not including most of, the little kind of shit stories, are we? But most of the big stuff, we've got you covered.
Exactly.
And our topic for today later on, which kind of links in nicely with the news, to be honest, is the future of gaming. And is it digital? Are we soon to completely lose forever physical copies of games?
It's Say everything. It ain't so.
Well, yeah, spoiler alert, I hope it ain't so. Although, do I? I don't know, I haven't really made my mind up. We'll find out as we talk about it.
Yeah, I literally have no thoughts about this yet. Until I'll see what comes out of my mouth.
Yeah, to be honest, it's going to be gut reactions from both of us, I guess. Yeah. Interesting. Before we talk about that, and before we talk about the news, despite your illness, have you been playing any games?
I've been playing a lot.
A lot of games?
Spite my illness. Is that...
Despite your illness?
No, spite. Is that the right way of saying it?
No, you would either
Because
say
of my illness, I've been playing a lot.
In spite of my illness. No, because that doesn't make sense. Because of... Yeah, spite isn't because of. Spite is when you do something out of, like...
Yes.
Not hatred, but...
Yes. Anyway.
You do...
yes.
How do you explain spite to someone? Clearly not like this.
I know that meaning of spite, but I thought... Because, like, despite...
Yeah, alright, despite your own... Yeah, despite of your illness, you've been playing the games.
Because of it.
All the games, you've been playing the games.
I have been all the games, by
all
the
of
way.
the games, but specifically these ones.
Yes. So, not only did I find time to make another stellar episode of...
Oh, yeah.
Topinion, my one, episode 3, which is about... Oh, what is it about?
The greatest console generation.
Yeah. Is it this one? Well, I think it is, so go watch that. It's fantastic. Even though Matt's very upset about my music fading abilities. However, my laptop was basically frozen the entire time I edited it.
I do agree with your thesis that this is indeed the best console generation we've had. Despite my... what's the word? My nostalgia and my feelings towards how great the PlayStation 3 was... this is the best generation, isn't it?
Everything gets better.
Yes!
Literally.
Title of the episode, everything gets better.
Everything gets better.
Including you, which is why you're now here.
Well, I don't get better with age.
That was well, no, I meant you're not ill anymore.
Oh.
Sorry,
just
yeah.
Sick in the mind.
Very tenuous.
Anyway, let's get into it.
What was your link there with your mentioning of the Topinion? Were you going to talk about Spider-Man? Because the gameplay in that top... Oh, okay.
No. Oh, it's just because I was amongst completing like 3 games. I also uploaded a YouTube video.
So you still had a productive...
myself, apart from the gameplay.
The gameplay's not yours?
No, I took it off YouTube.
Fair enough.
Creative Commons.
Yeah, Creative Commons.
And I actually credited the person in the description, so check out...
Fuck him.
That person.
Nah, don't. Fuck them.
Shouldn't have to.
Literally shouldn't have to.
Alright, games I've been playing.
Yes.
I completed Ratchet and Clank on PS4.
That was quick.
Yeah, it's not a long game.
I suppose.
Such a good game though.
Is it?
It's ridiculously good. Love it. One of the best PS4 games by far.
So, since we started the podcast, you've completed Horizon Zero Dawn, Rime, this, and Batman?
No, I was playing Batman before.
No,
Batman,
you've completed
Arkham something.
Yeah, but since we started the podcast, you've completed it. Completed it, mate?
No, I completed it before we started.
Oh, alright, well...
I've completed
any others, or
games.
just those 3?
I can't remember.
Alright, well, of those 3, which is this the best? I mean, they're all very different games, which...
Well, Rime's definitely not the best.
Ugh.
It's between Horizon and Ratchet and Clank. Like, it's such a good game. And with the recent news that PS Vita is dying, I went back onto my...
It's not dying, it's
dead
dead
for about 5 years. Dead on arrival.
It was pretty much, yeah.
I whacked out my PS Vita for the first time in a while, downloaded the Ratchet and Clank trilogy, and went into the first one and played a little bit of that. Got through the first few levels just to see the similarities, because it's been years since I played Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, same.
So you haven't played it?
Well,
literally last episode, I've never played it.
Well, I've seen it. You know what I mean? Like, I've been at someone's house or whatever when they've been playing it. I've never played it.
It's full of deceit.
All right, fine. Yeah, fine. I retract my statement. Not same. I cannot relate. Can't relate.
Yeah. Anyway, the remake is very good, even though it's like it's not a game for children, but I mean it kind of is. It was so easy up until the last boss battle, which I just couldn't do. So I ended up having to go back, and anyone who's played Ratchet and Clank knows what this means. I had to go back and collect all the cards for the Rhino gun, which is 9 scattered around the world. Do you know what?
Because it's Rhino spelt R-Y-N-O, isn't it? Do you know what it stands for?
Rockets, you know it.
No, I believe this is correct. I think it stands for Rip You a New One.
Oh, I think it is actually.
Yeah, there's my Ratchet and Clank fact drop.
But I was never interested in doing any of the collectibles, so when I got to the bit where I think it's like Skid McMarks or something says like, "Oh, do you
Skid McMarks?"
Yeah,
that's the best name of a character ever.
I think it's him. Or it's
How do they get away with that? Skid McMarks.
And he's like, "Oh, by the way, there's like these cards scattered around, and you can get a really good gun." And I was like, "No, I need it. This game's easy." And then the last boss battle, I just couldn't do. And then this gun is hyper ridiculous, and within about 30 seconds of doing the boss battle, which I'd done about 10 times at that point, I'd killed him. So I kind of cheated my way to the end, but you know, what can you do? I was going to go and platinum it, but then I thought, fuck that.
Do you have any platinum trophies?
Yeah, I've been through this like...
Oh, Rocket League,
Batman, Telltale, and something else.
But generally speaking,
Mirror's Edge Catalyst.
Yeah, but you don't give a shit about trophies.
I don't give a shit.
Really?
The only reason I give a shit is like when I want more time out of a game. Like I completed Mirror's Edge Catalyst, done the story, and I was like, I still want to play this. So I was
that makes sense.
Looking at what else I could do, which is why trophies are there anyway.
Yeah, very true. Alright, what else? So you enjoyed Ratchet and Clank, that's good.
Yeah. Next one.
Yeah.
Vita again.
Oh.
Uncharted Golden Abyss. This was sort of as well, because this was the last game that Sony Bend did up until their recent Days Gone, which is coming out soon, which I'm excited for.
Yes, me too.
So I was like, you know what, I haven't played that in a while. Never actually finished the story. Thought I was really close, because normally, I think I'm right in this, the Uncharted games have about 13 chapters. Around that, something like that.
Yeah.
This one had like 30.
Oh.
So I remember I got to like chapter 15, 16, thought I was near the end, and then for some reason I stopped playing it. And then I went back to it, and I was just like...
How long were the chapters though? Because I feel
like 5 minutes. It's not a long game, but I mean, I thought I was near the end.
Because the PlayStation, like the console, how do you... home console? I don't know what you... Non-portable console games. So Uncharted 1 through 4. The chapters of those games, I'd say roughly like an hour long each. If you don't like speed through
40 minutes or so, yeah.
40 minutes, 45 minutes, whatever.
Yeah.
So
they're very short in this one. But this one's like, I think this was released after Uncharted 3. For a handheld game, looks incredible. Plays like Uncharted 1, and that's probably the one it's most comparable to.
Yeah. But
still, on a handheld, pretty good experience.
I'm just going to say, I made that noise because if you compare Uncharted 1 to 2, 3 and 4, it's not a great game. But if you compare Uncharted to any other game, it's still brilliant. So just to...
Uncharted 1 by far is the worst Uncharted, but it's still a good game.
It's a backhanded compliment to say that it's the worst Uncharted. It's the worst of a great series. Any other games?
Oh, I've got so many more.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. What?
And then... last of the Vita... Actually, no, it's not last of the Vita ones. Second to last of the Vita ones is the Unfinished Swan, which I believe is
the follow-on.
That game company, or is that German? They're the people who did like Edith Finch or Ethan Carter or one of those games.
No, it's Edith Finch. The Unfinished Swan is because there's a character in the what was it? What Remains of Eden? Jesus Christ! What Remains of Edith Finch has a character in it which the Unfinished Swan is based on.
Okay.
I've never played Edith Finch, but that's
Did you ever play Unfinished Swan?
No.
No. Okay.
No. Well, actually, I did play like about 10 minutes of Edith Finch once. Not going to say why right now, but yeah, it was okay. It was interesting.
Yeah. Well, this game was pretty interesting as well. I've had it for a while, and then I was looking through because every month on PlayStation Plus, I'd just add all the games to my library. All the games? Just in case I wanted to play them one day.
In typical Joe fashion, I might need that later.
I might do.
Might need that later. It's only £2. Might need that later.
And then I looked on my PS Vita download list. I've got Unfinished Swan. And I was like, fuck it. Why not? It's probably like 2 hours. So it was 2 hours. Quite a nice looking game. You literally, the first level, you literally on a white, is like opens up white, and then you're like, oh, actually I can move around. Then you throw some paint and you sort of paint out the world.
Is it one of those games where it doesn't tell you it started?
Yeah,
and you sit there waiting for a minute, like, why is nothing happening? And then you move the analog stick, like, oh, for fuck's sake.
And then like the next one, you're like, it's more built out, and you're like throwing water pellets, and then you're moving vines. It's really simple, like little puzzle game. You're basically playing a fairy tale, like a child's book sort of thing. You're playing it out, and it's quite emotional, I guess, for some people who feel emotions. Don't know what that's about.
I was going to say, I think the character it's based on from Edith Finch is like a young boy. I think he like disappears into his doodles or something, and that's is it an Unfinished Swan or the Unfinished Swan? Because I think I said it wrong.
Unfinished Swan.
Nah. I think it's an Unfinished Swan.
No.
Is it the Unfinished? Oh no, it is the Unfinished One.
The Unfinished One. Okay, yeah.
Oh, okay. An Unfinished One sounds very artistic, like very not pretentious, but I don't know. I think they should have gone with that.
And Top Chat podcast.
And Top Chat Games, or whatever this is.
Yeah.
Who knows?
That sounds pretentious.
Oh, I don't think I introduced it. Did I? Yeah, I must have done. Anyway, carry on. It's too late now. Too late.
Professional.
Now. Yeah, who cares? We're having fun. That's the main thing. And so are you, listening at home or on your commute, wherever you are.
I played Super Meat Boy. That's a game I go back to on my Vita every now and then. Hard as balls, and I suck at platformers, like 2D platformers. Kind of done with it now, to be honest. Started playing Broken Ages. Never played that before.
Broken Ages?
Yeah, it's like a point and click. It's by the same person who did Grim Fandango, which I think is Double Fine.
Yeah, Tim Schafer?
I think,
yeah.
One of those.
Oh,
people.
that was a PlayStation Plus game, like 2 years ago.
Yeah, and that was because
I was that's why you've got it. Okay, good.
This is all Vita games.
Very good. I think I downloaded it and never bothered playing it.
It seems quite interesting.
I also think it's called Broken Age.
Is it?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Just being pedantic.
I'm not particularly that interested in it.
No, fair enough.
I might go back and play it again. And then lastly, Spider-Man PS4. So good.
How far through do you think you are? Or do you know you are?
The story, it says I'm about 25% through. But obviously it's one of those games where you've got to 100% all the regions by taking over certain bits and finding certain things.
Which are you going to do? I imagine you will, because it seems like something
maybe
you're enjoying, so you will probably.
Maybe. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. Got a lot of games to play.
You do. You have an endless list.
Which I Top Chat Opinion, Joe's Top Opinion Episode 2. You don't have to play all your games, but I want to play these ones.
Oh yeah, what was that one?
Excellent taste.
What was that?
Too many games, not
too many
enough
games.
Time.
Yeah, another one, to be honest, that I completely agree with. I've got some top opinions in the works, as well as one that we released one the other day about GTA 6 and the fact that, I think I've mentioned it on the podcast before, that I don't want it set in the USA, so you can go and watch that. I've also got one coming up on microtransactions, which is not tenuous, what's the word? Contentious. And another one on Pokemon, because fuck it.
Pokemon.
Gotta rate them all. It's a not that in depth rating of the series so far. So look out for them if you like either of those things.
And this podcast, if we didn't introduce it, comes out every Thursday, apart from last Thursday.
It comes out either Thursday or Friday.
Mostly Thursday.
This one will come out on Friday because it's currently Wednesday night. And after it's been approved by all the podcast services, it will probably be Friday night. If not, Saturday morning. So it might be a bit late, but our schedules are just not. The past 2 weeks, I mean, you were ill, and then this week, schedules have not been great. Normal service will be resumed shortly. Well, I mean, as of now, pretty much. What have I been playing? Assassin's Creed Odyssey. But I think this time next week, I will be able to say that I finished it.
Really?
Yeah, I've sunk about 15 to 20 hours into it the past week or two, to the point where I've got one island left to do. You know, I can uncover all the areas and do all the points of interest. I've got like 2 story quests left, if that, and then a handful of side quests to finish. And then all I've got after, then I've just got some DLC. And then I'm done.
You ready to be done? You were...
See, this is the thing. I think I was ready to be done, and I've said this already, because I had a couple of weeks away, and I was like, oh my god, it's such a gargantuan undertaking that I'm kind of like fatigued by it. But then I got back into it a couple of weeks ago, and I've been playing it maybe, you know, when I get a day off work or an evening free or whatever, I'll sink a good like 3 or 4 hour sesh. And I really like playing it for like extended periods of time.
Yeah.
I like doing sort of like an island a day. Or not a day, but you know, every time I've got the time to spend a few hours just and get lost in the world. So no, I'm not rushing through it. I've not skimped on any of like the side quests or any of the trophies, for example. I've got like 75% of the trophies, I think.
Going for the platinum?
Oh god, yeah. But it's a fairly easy platinum. Yeah. Okay. Assassin's Creed Origins. I mean, I say easy, it's just time consuming.
So, what's next?
Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered.
Oh god.
Because that comes out in, I think, a week or so. It comes out soon. But that's a much, much, much smaller game. Like that will probably take me a month or 2 at the most. But
and then into Days Gone.
Then into Days Gone, yeah, correct. Or maybe Kingdom Hearts 3. Because if you pick up Days Gone, which, are you going to?
Yeah, I think so.
Then I might just say, no, I'll get Kingdom Hearts 3. And then when you're finished with Days Gone, I'll borrow it if that's alright.
Yeah.
If it's any good. So we'll see about that. But yeah, Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered, they've said that, Ubisoft of course that is, have said that there's revamped gameplay mechanics and elements and so on and so forth, which will be interesting to see. But I very much doubt they've rebuilt the game from the ground up. It's not going to be like like the previous 2 or the most recent 2 Assassin's games where it's an RPG. It will still be pretty much the same game as AC3.
Be a good looking
yeah, pretty much, 3. With maybe a few more bells and whistles thrown in. But that's that. Anything else you wanted to add in before we do the news? Have you had a Sebi from the Webby?
I do.
You
actually.
Do? Oh, yeah, I thought you'd stop listening. Cheers, Seb.
Nah.
Never.
Last episode, we discussed dormant franchises, didn't we?
We did. He commented saying that he's surprised at my choice, because I said I had a choice from Rockstar, and I chose Smuggler's Run. And he said he was surprised that it wasn't Bully, which is a good shout.
Really good shout. I didn't think about that.
Did you ever play Bully?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
See, I didn't play Bully, but I played Canis Canem Edit, which was the non-banned version. And I never finished it. I thought it was okay.
Oh,
I mean, I'd like to maybe see a modern version of Bully, but also another Rockstar franchise that's kind of dormant is Manhunt.
Yeah, I brought that up last week, I think.
Did you?
Yeah, you were asking me
to
guess.
No, you said Postal, didn't you? Or Postal or Hostel? What's it called? Hostel's the film. You said Postal.
No. I said Manhunt when you had a Rockstar game on your list and you were like, guess.
Oh, okay.
I said Manhunt.
Well, I probably said at the time.
So Bully is... I used to like Bully. I don't know. It's not going to... I mean, GTA, Rockstar, they're quite...
slow.
They don't really care...
no, not at all.
About PC culture, but I feel like Bully maybe,
with school shootings and whatnot.
Yeah, a bit of a
But you say that, but they've been going on since what, like the 80s?
Yeah, but I don't know. We're a bit more woke culturally.
Yeah,
but also, by the way, Did you hear about that rumor that Sony were going to buy Take-Two this week?
Yeah, I did. I heard about
died
it
very quickly. But
well, it seemed to be born from literally nothing.
Yeah,
and then What Culture, of course, made a video straight away, and everyone just hated on them for it. Like, this has already been debunked like 2 hours after they put the video up. I'm not like throwing shade at those guys. I quite like most of them, to be honest. But anyway,
that'd have been interesting. All right,
what's your Sebi from the Webby?
His top 5 reboot franchises.
Oh, he's done a top 5.
Yeah, which is actually 6 games. But anyway, we're not going to comment on the British schooling system for failing us.
Seb can't count.
I mean, I don't think we did 5 either, but you know.
No, it's true. But we never said it was a top 5.
And our top 10 games is about like 15 each.
Yeah.
20 each. I don't know.
More than that.
Yeah. Anyway, the first one, Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle-earth, which I think is a Lord of the Rings RTS franchise. I think there was Battle for Middle-earth 2.
The only Lord of the Rings game I remember playing was just like I don't know, not a fighting game, but one of those ones where you choose a character and like a Dynasty Warriors type thing. If you know what Dynasty Warriors is, don't you?
I've heard of it.
It's like you choose a character and you go into an arena and you fight loads of enemies and stuff. It reminds. I played one of them on PS2.
Yeah, but I think I can remember.
Is there an
7
RTS as well?
7 is boy William playing this game a lot.
Okay. Good choice then, I suppose.
Those two love their RTSs and stuff, so
yep.
I don't know. Maybe that will come back. I've got nothing to say about that.
No.
Then he says Bully.
Mm-hmm.
Next one, Fable, which he says most likely will be.
I was going to say Fable 4 is pretty much all but confirmed now, isn't it?
It's heavily rumoured to exist, but it's not been confirmed, so we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
I think we said this as well, True Crime.
Yeah. No, well, you said The Getaway, didn't you? And I said The Getaway reminds me of True Crime. Yeah,
and then I mentioned that Seb had True Crime, I think Streets of LA or something.
Same one as me.
Then he said it's True Crime, and for some reason, / Sleeping Dogs. I don't know why they're related. Maybe they're similar developers, same developers. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
I never played Sleeping Dogs, but I have it.
No, I didn't actually.
I actually remember Aaron. He
former guest on the podcast, Aaron. Episode
I remember him getting a Sleeping Dogs T-shirt, and I think he really liked that game.
It's like GTA, isn't it? But not quite.
It's like Yakuza.
Okay.
So I think it's set in China.
Sleeping Dogs. Well, it's published by Square Enix and developed by United Front. Should we see if they did? What's it called?
Wow, Mod Nation Racers.
They did not. They did Mod Nation Races.
That game was appalling.
And Sleeping
I had
Dogs.
the Vita version, but
what an interesting. So they've done Mod Nation Racers and then nothing, and
then Little Big Planet karting,
and Tomb Raider: The Definitive, Halo Master Chief Collection, which has been announced as coming to PC. In case you're interested,
with Halo Reach,
and then Disney Infinity 3.0, and then they've had 2 games cancelled since 2016. Triad Wars was an open-world online multiplayer game.
I feel like I heard about that.
A spin-off to Sleeping Dogs. Oh, and it got cancelled. What a shame.
Okay.
What a shame. And another one called Smash and Grab, which has no info.
I have been meaning to play Sleeping Dogs. Apparently, it's one of those games, I feel it's Mad Max kind of game, where everyone who played it thought it was good, but not many people played it. So, and then... Lastly is Empire Earth, which again I think is a RTS.
Yeah, Empire. Yeah, they're great games.
Are they the ones where you start off in like medieval and go all the way to like future?
Well, but if I think we're both thinking of Age of Empires.
I think it's along those
same
lines.
Thing. Yeah.
I just
they're good.
Playing it. I don't understand those games because they're for nerds.
No, they're fun. Nerds. They are quite fun. They're a bit repetitive, but they are quite fun.
Okay, and then lastly. That was the end of Sebi from the Webby.
Cool, thanks, Seb, as always.
But I saw some news today. From your list, you mentioned Oddworld.
Yes.
Just announced.
What?
One of the Oddworlds is being remade. Because I went and looked them up, and they've all, quite a few of them have been remade lately, within the last few years.
There's only 3 games, isn't there? Of the Oddworld. There's only 3 games and like a movie or something from the Oddworld. Well, anyway,
one of them has been remade, like Ratchet and Clank was remade. So like. Based on one of the games, but being built from the ground up, I think.
Nice. Oddworld
because
Soul Storm?
There hasn't been a new Oddworld, like a a brand new game for a while.
No, they haven't.
All the other ones have just been remakes.
Is this Soulstorm? Is this what we're talking about?
I don't know.
Future titles. Let's have a look. Yeah, released in 2020. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's a remake of something. I don't know.
We'll find out, shall we? Anyway.
Yes.
You're both getting distracted by Wikipedia mid-podcast. That's
okay,
really
two more
professional.
things before we move into the news.
Yep.
I was looking through the PSN sales in the UK today, and The Witcher 3 is £8 on PSN.
Fucking hell.
Like,
£8?
If you haven't got a lot of money... I still haven't played this because I'm scared of doing what Matt is doing with Assassin's Creed and just getting lost in it forever.
I probably shouldn't buy it.
But I've got it. But yeah, £8 for... That is probably the most amount of gameplay you're ever going to get for that amount of money.
£8.
That is ridiculous.
I presume not with the DLC. Not with Blood and Wine.
I don't even know, but then the DLC is like bigger than most games anyway, so you can probably pick that up for quite cheap as well.
That's ridiculous.
And then lastly... onto Metacritic.
Metacritic. Oh yeah. What,
yes.
Have you got some new scores on the doors?
Got Division 2.
Oh, that's interesting. I've not looked into the Division 2 at all because I don't really care. It doesn't interest me. So go on. What's it got? Has it beaten Anthem?
I can't remember what Anthem was.
Anthem was
Anthem got 62. It's just there on the notes. Yes, it's got 80 on the PS4 one.
Okay.
A bit of a weird one because normally on these I check the PS4 one because they've all got separate. Each console edition or PC edition has a separate score, and normally they're around the same. Division 2
generally higher
on PS4 was 80. On PC it was about 86, and on Xbox One it was about 72. So I went for the median.
Yeah, fair enough.
Which is 80, the PS4 one, and the one that all the cool people care about because it's PS4. Let's be honest, 100 million units sold. Fucking get with it.
Has it hit 100 mil?
Not confirmed yet, but it must have soon.
Yeah, you'd think, wouldn't you? Wow.
I mean, I've not really heard any bad things about it compared to the shit that was surrounding Anthem. And
why is it 8 points lower on Xbox? I don't know. It's probably some like locked content, or not locked, but
maybe
staggered content thing. Okay.
Yeah. So
well, I'm quite pleased for that because it does seem like a game. I think we've spoken about it before. We've both got goodwill towards it for no real reason.
I don't know. Ubisoft is that kind of company that seems to have turned a corner in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
They were kind of up there with EA, like, oh, fuck Ubisoft. Like, every year there's a Assassin's Creed that's just
they became a bit predictable, but then they've...
But then there was that forced takeover by Vivendi or something. And then they were like, nah, actually, we're going to hang on here. And they did. And Vivendi have sold off their last shares now, so they're completely on their own again. And they just seem to be doing well. And this seems to also be the smoothest games as a service launch by far. Because both the Destinies seem to be a bit bumpy, and then they get better with content updates. Anthem's not gone well.
Anthem's just been a bit broken, hasn't it, really?
Yeah. But this one seems to be the smoothest so far. But it's not like doesn't seem to be a 10 out of 10, but, with these games in time, they do become better.
They do. I mean, it's kind of no point in us talking about it. Neither of us are going to get it, are we? So, that's very good. Let's do the news, shall we? Don't know why I said it like that.
What's occurring?
Well, we'll get on to the biggest news about the Google Stadia and Microsoft Project X Cloud a bit later on, because it links with our topic, of course. But for now, Xbox Live has been confirmed as coming to Switch, as in the Nintendo Switch. Was this a prediction that you made, or was it rumoured and you kind of...
It was rumoured.
Yeah.
I think at the moment this is with the announcement of Cuphead.
Cuphead, yes. So it's come with... Well, yeah, that. I don't know what I was going to add to that. Yeah, what is this? So Nintendo did a Nindies, which I believe is a portmanteau of Nintendo and Indies.
It is indeed. It's kind of like a direct just for smaller games.
Yeah. So Nintendo Indies. I don't think I can say it without laughing. Showcase Spring 2019, alongside 17 other games, of course, alongside Cuphead. And it was revealed that the Xbox One console exclusive, Cuphead, will be arriving on the Switch on April the 18th, 2019.
Oh shit, that's soon.
Along with, well, yeah. And along with 17 other games.
So, I don't think this is quite the confirmation that Xbox Live is.
Well,
all bells and
apparently it
whistles
is.
are coming to Switch, but I think it's.
Where's this fucking IGN?
No, I did
shit?
see it, but I mean, it's what they're saying, I think, is with Cuphead, some Xbox Live features are going to be integrated.
Yeah.
Not so much like a whole Xbox Live platform is like taking over the Switch, has been like rumored, sort of thing. But it's the start. It's the first thing that's sort of come up with the Xbox. Weird one to start with. Well, not weird one, but
weird game.
It was rumored to be
What?
Sorry, I just burped.
You just burped. I was going to say there's a weird bit of silence. It was rumored to be
inside of me. It was rumored to be Ori and the Blind Forest that was going to be the first Microsoft game to make its way over. But Cuphead, which looks, I love the art style of Cuphead. It looks
Cuphead is
so
great.
good, but
I think
apparently it's hard as balls. And I doubt I could play it on an Xbox controller, let alone a Switch.
I watched the other day do you know the YouTube channel Did You Know Gaming? It's quite big.
I didn't know.
Gaming. Did you know Gaming? They're quite a big channel. I'm surprised you don't. They did an episode on Cuphead the other day, and it was really very interesting. The game's made by two brothers who had never made a game before, who didn't know anything about like how it was actually put together and how it was done, and etc. Just decided that they wanted to have a try at it.
That sounds a bit like us and podcasting.
It does. So they were like, we grew up watching these sort of 1930s, 40s era cartoons. It's going to look like that. And that's all that they went on. Oh, and the fact that they wanted it to be a platformer with the old sort of arcadey style, you never run out of bullets, shooting at everything, kind of, whatever. But so I've just gone back to the article on IGN. It does say that Microsoft has confirmed that Xbox Live will be headed to Switch, but it doesn't say who confirmed that. So IGN, perhaps work on your sources. But for now, fuck it. They've said it, so we'll say it, shall we?
Alright.
Until we get sued. But I think the reason I think they've gone with Cuphead as the first game to announce is because it's like a cult favourite, especially at the moment. To mention another YouTube channel, there's the Games Done Quick. Well, it's not really a YouTube channel, but they upload their gameplays to YouTube, and I watch them. And the Cuphead one from a couple of months ago has got way more views than like any of its other videos. So I think it's a good choice. I think Cuphead's one of those games that a lot of people. I'd love to see it on PlayStation. I'd get it. I think, as long as it's a reasonable price.
I don't think I would. I'm not going to get it on Switch, but
fair enough.
I mean, it looks. I love the art style so much.
Yeah, the art style's great.
I just love the way that, like in the cartoons, all the characters are moving at all times.
Constantly.
It's so funny.
You should watch the Did You Know Get. They talk about that and why it's like a stylistic choice, and how the characters at any moment can go from being really cute and playful to being just fucking horrifying, because that was how they did it back in those days. To do a somewhat stretched link, so that's bad news for PlayStation. We would agree that Xbox Live is going to Switch. It looks like the partnership that you have foretold is forming, and also Quantic Dream, who have always been a Sony exclusive developer, haven't they? Mm-hmm. So Quantic Dream, of course, Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls, and more recently Detroit Become Human. They've announced a partnership with Epic Games to launch the said 3 games on the Epic Store. So they are now, no longer PlayStation exclusive. So Sony,
I hadn't heard about this.
Yeah, see, I'm on it today, mate. Sony, get hold of things, would you? Because you're being, you're sort of being double teamed by your 2 biggest competitors, and now you've lost one of your arguably biggest, first party developers, or third, whatever they're second party. That's it. It's not looking good, really.
Well,
kind of.
I'm really surprised about this, because I thought PlayStation would have owned the IP.
Well, I doubt, because it's David Cage, isn't it? He's a bit weird. I doubt he's like one of those people who makes games because it's like, oh, it's my baby, it's my thing. So I imagine he is the person that ultimately owns the rights. But do you reckon there was a buyout with Sony? Do you reckon he had to say like, oh well, I'll terminate the exclusivity because Epic have offered to... It also seems a really interesting developer for Epic to form a deal with, because let's face it, Epic at the moment are most famous for Fortnite.
Yeah,
I can't imagine the average 12-year-old looking at Detroit Become Human and going, oh, you know what, I'll fucking play that.
Yeah, it's nothing to do with Epic, the developer, really.
No, but, it's the Epic Game Store.
Because they're trying to get it off the ground, so they're like, you're exclusive on this game store, you're exclusive. It's like that Oprah Winfrey gif. It's like, you're exclusive. So...
I get it, but...
That's quite... I'm sure there's people on PC who have been like, yo, I wanted to play these Quantic Dream games. They look pretty sick. I love origami and shit.
Yo, what was that?
Heavy Rain. Love origami and robots.
The
and
origami
whatever
killer.
Beyond Two Souls is about.
Beyond Two Souls is about a soul, a ghost, who's like attached to...
I didn't play that one. I played Heavy Rain.
See, that's weird, because I've played Beyond, but not the other two.
Wow.
Yeah. Wait, no, you haven't played Detroit.
Yeah, there's people on PC who they might want this, and then they're going to be like, oh, I have to go to the Epic Game Store.
They will.
And that's the whole idea behind it, I guess.
No, it still seems like an interesting,
it is interesting
developer for Epic to get. But...
So, judging by this, we could soon see them on the Xbox as well.
Yeah. Maybe.
There's nothing that seems to be stopping them.
But, okay. Who knows?
It could just be a timed exclusive PlayStation thing, or there could be an agreement that's run out. I reckon E3, they'll just be quick. Quantic Dreams on games.
E3, did you say?
I did say E3.
E3. Do you know who's skipping E3?
Oh, such a good fucking segue.
Yeah. EA is skipping E3. Sorry, we're moving on. EA is skipping E3, most likely due to the EA Play event, which was the first one last year, or 2017. Anyway, irrelevant. They've done a few. It is returning in 2019. EA Play, you could probably gather from that it is an EA exhibition. It looks like a lot of companies now are making their own, aren't they? PlayStation have got PSX, Nintendo do directs, all the time. That one's not an expo, but it's more like, just updates here and there. But yeah, EA Play is most likely the reason they're not doing E3. So who's left for E3? Because Nintendo aren't doing it.
Well, Nintendo do. They come to E3, I think.
They never.
But they do
a lot.
They do a direct instead of a.
Yeah. They do their own thing.
Yeah, they do a direct instead of a.
Yeah.
What is the word?
Conference.
There we go.
Jinx. But PlayStation aren't going, or Sony aren't going.
Bethesda have just confirmed that they'll be there.
Okay, so Bethesda are going.
I'm scared about
Ubisoft,
what they're going to do there.
Probably.
Bethesda. They've got Doom Eternal, whatever it's called.
That's out, isn't it?
Not yet.
Oh. No, yeah, I'm thinking, yeah.
Rage is coming out soon.
Fallout 76.
Oh, yeah, there'll be news about Fallout 76. Hopefully we'll see StarCraft and Elder Scrolls 6, because otherwise it's a waste of time.
Elder Scrolls 6 would be a pretty big thing. I feel like...
They showed a teaser last year, so...
Did they? I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was just literally like a camera going over some mountains and the logo.
Oh.
But Starfield's their next one from Bethesda Game Studios.
Oh. I feel like E3 need someone to step up, because if companies like EA and PlayStation are brave enough to jump ship, they're going to need those remaining to really up their game, because otherwise E3 is in danger of becoming somewhat irrelevant.
It's sort of predicted that way, but you'd hope that Xbox are going to bring it this year, because
it seems like
they always get trod on by PlayStation conferences.
Yeah, I was literally about to say, it seems like it's their time to shine.
Yeah, because Xbox have a great conference, and then PlayStation have kind of a shit one, but then they're like, oh, and by the way, here's 30 seconds of Last of Us 2, and then everyone's just jizzed on their screen, and that's pretty much it.
Just wild clapping.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone stands up.
But yeah, so they've got the floor here.
Shuhei Yoshida.
This is where they have to come out and be like, the 5 studios we've bought are developing these games. Look at Gears and Halo Infinite, they look sexy as shit, and look at our new console, by the way, it's fucking awesome.
What, they've released images of the...
No, this is what I'm saying.
This is what they need to do.
Yeah.
Alright. I was going to say, I haven't seen these pictures.
Yeah.
I agree.
And then Square Enix normally do a conference, but...
It's going to be a weird one for... Yeah, they do a little one, but
Ubisoft do one.
What are Square going to do? Well, actually, and what are Ubisoft going to do? Because Ubisoft have got Days Gone coming out soon.
That's not Ubisoft.
Is it not?
That's PlayStation.
Oh, of course it is.
Watch Dogs.
Watch Dogs. That's the thing.
Watch Dogs 3. Yeah. Presumably.
Watch Dogs 3. No Assassin's Creed.
No.
They'll
probably do some like Steep or there'll be like Steep DLC.
Steep 2.
There'll be a Rayman's thing.
You reckon?
There's always a Rayman's thing.
Or Rabbids. Rayman or Rabbids or one of the two.
Yeah, whatever they're called. Rabbids, which are just the fucking minions. Ugh.
Yeah. To be fair, I had a Rabbids game on PS2, which I quite liked.
What's the other one they have?
I don't know.
The Drive Across America game.
Oh, The Crew?
The Crew, they'll probably do something on that. They find a
that to me sounds boring.
And then probably they'll throw in like some franchise.
What are Square Enix going to do? Because Final Fantasy is probably going to lay low for a couple of years. KH3's just come out. What else have Square got?
Tomb Raider.
Alright, well anyway, it looks set to be a somewhat disappointing E3.
Then again, maybe like we're all thinking this is doom and gloom, but maybe it's just the end of a console generation and next year is going to be ridiculous. Because that's why Sony said they pulled out. Pull
out games.
Basically because they're like, let's be honest, we don't want to disappoint you. We ain't got anything to show you, really. So
that's to do a Brooklyn Nine-Nine joke. That's the title of my sex tape. Haven't got much to show you, and I don't want to disappoint. Hey, you don't watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine, do you?
I do. I've seen every single episode twice.
Oh, title of your sex tape.
Yeah, I know. I got it. Don't worry.
Title of your sex tape. What else? Disney may be reviving Lucasfilm games. Lucas Games.
Are we in the wrap-up section, are we?
Well,
Woody's Roundup.
No, we can't call
Woody's
it. Right,
Roundup.
so we've decided at the end of the What's Occurring segment, which is basically just the news, we may as well drop that name, to be honest.
Nah, that's the best.
At the end of the news, we're going to do just a quick roundup of little quick stories, but we're finishing on bigger news that ties in with the main subject, so we're doing the roundup now. So even though this is the first week we're doing the roundup, we're doing it in the wrong place. It wouldn't be top chat without it being just fucking
rubbish.
Stupid and terrible. So
yeah, let's go on with Woody's Roundup.
We can't call it Woody's Roundup.
Oh my god, did you see the Toy Story 4 trailer?
No, I haven't yet.
It looks really crap, to be honest.
Have you seen Stranger Things 3? Season 3?
Do
you not like Stranger Things?
I watched I think there's 10 episodes a season, right?
Yeah, I think so. Something like
First season I watched to episode 9. I wasn't even hooked enough to watch episode 10.
Oh my god, that's
really weird,
astounding.
isn't it?
That's really weird. Yeah, well, that looks great. I mean, well, does it? I don't know. Yeah, it looks good. It's going to be good. Anyway, Disney may be reviving Lucasfilm games. I mean, you wrote this bit, so you can talk for a bit. What is this? Lucasfilm games. Did they make the original Battlefronts?
They made they were like most of the Star Wars. I'll just list up.
Did they make KOTOR?
That was
Knights of the Old Realm. Republic.
That was
Alright, Freudian slip. Give me more than half a second to correct myself.
That was BioWare, I think.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it?
They made the Old Republic. They made Grim Fandango. Maybe they did make Knights of the Old Republic. I don't know.
Let's find out. I love doing this.
Yeah, well, anyway.
It was published by... it was developed by BioWare and published by LucasArts.
Okay, there we go. See?
Yeah, very good.
That wasn't wrong.
So, Lucasfilm games, what have they made? Come on.
Star Wars Force Unleashed. Indiana Jones games.
Did you ever play that?
Yeah, I liked that.
I really didn't. I thought...
Jedi Knights Academy, Republic Commando, Battlefront 2. Yeah. Just basically the Star Wars games...
And then other just random ones.
Yeah. So, this could be in response to what we talked about in episode 3, I think.
Is it called LucasArts? Is it not called... It's not called Lucasfilm Games, it's called LucasArts, isn't it?
That's the... Oh, maybe it is LucasArts game. I don't know.
Oh, no. Apparently it's called Lucasfilm Games. But it's also called LucasArts. Maybe LucasArts is the parent company.
Yeah, who cares? It's the same thing. It's George Lucas, just like sticking his own dick
I was
up his
gonna say-
butt, or his
Oh.
lightsaber up his butt.
I was going to say putting his name in the
Hey,
company.
He's not even in there anymore.
Ooh.
Yeah, so basically this could be a response from Disney about EA's shocking effort with the Star Wars franchise. I mean, they're not just known for Star Wars games. They seem to have done quite a lot. Grim Fandango apparently being one of them.
Yeah, apparently.
So yeah, we'll see. What could this be?
Sorry, you could clearly see I had a mouthful of water there. You had to say more than just we'll see. Battlefield 5, Battlefield 5 Battle Royale Firestorm. Is that a new game? What Battlefield are we up to? Has there been 4?
No, we're on Battlefield 5. They didn't release the Battle Royale
So
with the game. It's DLC.
Oh, so Battlefield 5 is the current Battlefield?
Yes.
Okay, so Battle Royale called Firestorm is being released in 5 days, March 25th.
Yes. Too little, too late, really, to be honest.
I mean,
it's kind of ridiculous they didn't launch that with the game. They've already got Apex Legends from EA, which is kind of killing it. New season of Fortnite.
The thing is, this has probably been in development for a while. And Apex Legends was a surprise release, wasn't it? Like, no one knew about Apex before. Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, maybe a couple of... But, yeah, it's unfortunate. But also, because, you know, Fortnite is free and Apex Legends is free, surely this isn't going to do well because it's not free.
No, it's not. I don't think. It could be
the best Battle Royale
to be
games.
honest.
It could. This is the thing, because I think, from what I've read and what I've seen, Blackout, which is the Black Ops 4 Battle Royale mode, looks like the best of the lot. In my opinion, I mean, Apex looks pretty good. I still haven't played it, but I haven't really got any. It's just sat there on my XMB.
I
look at it. You deleted it already?
I needed space, and I was like, I'm realistically, I'm not playing this.
Well, when I need space, it'll be the first thing to go. I've kind of got it sat there because it took long enough to download, so I feel like if I eventually bother playing it, you know, it'll be worthwhile. But yeah, Battle Royale. In my opinion, Battle Royale games to succeed have to be free, because that is ultimately what makes people play it. Because it's kids that play it. It's school children and college students or whatever that play these Battle Royale games predominantly, and they haven't got the expendable income, so they just play whatever their mates are playing. And if you're all playing a free game and it happens to be quite good and addictive, then I mean, well, yeah, that is in itself that they're gonna play it. And a lot of kids as well. I think Battlefield isn't a franchise for Battle Royale players. It's more realistic, isn't it?
Well, that's the thing with these, is that Battle Royale is a game mode.
Yeah.
That has suddenly become a game genre.
Yeah.
So, like, you can't have, like, it can't be a £60 game just to be a Battle Royale game. That's why, like, if it's just a Battle Royale game, it's free.
Yeah.
And then, like, Battlefield 5 and like Call of Duty get thrown into the Battle Royale conversation, but then they've also got a lot more game to them.
Yeah.
But their Battle Royale game modes could be much better than all the others, but I guess not enough people play them, so
I think it's interesting.
It could be good, but
it'll probably be good, but I think it's just interesting for the developer. Well, it's DICE, isn't it? I think it's interesting for DICE to decide to do a Battle Royale. Do you reckon that's pressure from EA?
Probably. Let's be honest.
Turtle Rock, who are the developers of Left 4 Dead, which, did you ever play Left 4 Dead?
Yeah.
It's fucking great, wasn't it?
It was good
really
for the time.
good.
It was. I don't enjoy online games, but there was like 4 maps and not a lot to do outside of.
It was exciting.
Yeah.
Anyway, those guys, Turtle Rock, are partnering with Warner Brothers Games to release Back 4 Blood, which is like a spiritual.
They've got the 4 in it as well.
Oh, of course. Hence why I accentuated the 4 there. So that'll be interesting. Hopefully, it's not an Xbox exclusive like Left 4 Dead was.
It won't be.
It won't be.
No.
Is that
WB Games?
Well, yeah. So
it's not going to be. It's not an Xbox exclusive.
And finally, no one cares about this, but No Man's Sky has an update. There's 3 big updates rolled into one to be released for free in the summer.
Best news of the year.
So, biggest news of the year thus far is that Google are venturing into the gaming market with Stadia. It's a newly revealed, what was it, 2 or 3 days ago?
Yesterday.
So we're actually, yesterday, wow.
Was it yesterday? Yeah.
We're fairly on point with that. On point, that's not the right expression.
Yeah, normally the news comes out like 5 minutes after we've recorded.
Yeah, we finished recording and oh my god, have you seen this? Google Stadia is a games streaming service, but it's a console, isn't it? You might have to help me with this because I'm not really sure what it is.
It's a platform.
Yes, but it has its own controller, and I believe
it doesn't have a console unit. It's just off operating systems. It's off the Chrome
Cast
operating system, basically.
Yeah.
Or the Chrome web browser.
So the idea is you plug it into a monitor or a TV or a computer.
It connects over Wi-Fi.
It connects over Wi-Fi. The controller does. I didn't mean the controller. I mean the thing.
No, you don't need
the Arcadia. No, the Stadia.
No, there isn't a physical. The Stadia isn't a physical thing.
Oh.
It exists entirely in the software. So I think you can literally open it up on your Chrome browser.
Oh.
But then I think they've got a kind of Google TV coming out as well.
Okay.
Or maybe it's already out. It's like a Chrome TV.
Yeah.
So the operating system's already built in, and then you can also do it on like your Google Pixel phone. Anything with a Google operating system.
Well, this is the thing. They're one of those companies where it's like they're like Apple or Amazon in the sense that if it's a Google thing, it's got Google in the name, or it's like it is ours, which is good in a way. It's good to have a bit of like brand identity. But
it's weird because
those
really cool. We don't go like the Sony PlayStation. Or the Microsoft Xbox. That sounds incredibly weird. But we do say like Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
Google Stadia. I don't like the name also.
You don't like that? I think that's a great name, Stadia.
I like the image it evokes. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Like Stadia, like the whole point is like everyone together in this pantheon of gaming, but
it makes me picture the I can't think of the name of it, but the Red Sox stadium. For whatever reason, I've never been.
Madison Square Garden?
No, that's New York.
I thought it was the New York Red Sox.
No, it's Boston Red Sox.
Boston.
I don't know what the name is. I've never been. Don't know why it makes me picture that stadium in particular. But anyway, we've got a rather helpful article from Kotaku here. Thanks very much, Kotaku, and specifically Ethan Gach or Gatch. Not really sure how you say that. It's breaking down what we know so far about the Stadia. I'm surprised you don't like that name. I think it's good.
No, I'm not a fan. Or the logo. The logo especially, the S, looks like a car company in GTA, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it does, to be fair.
And I don't know where they've sort of got it from. It looks very
Why is it not
90s.
Why is it not in the Google font? That's what I want to know.
It's very strange.
Anyway, let's see what they've got to say on Kotaku. Thanks very much for this, guys. So, at launch, the service will be able to run games at up to 4K at 60 FPS with a 30 megabyte per second connection, with presumably a slower speed allowing for 1080p, which is, I feel like that's not. I don't know. I don't think that's right. It doesn't seem like a 4K 60 FPS and then for it to be fluid. Surely you need a monster like 30
Well, that's
MB.
the whole thing. They've been working on this technology to get it down to this much.
But how?
For a while. Well,
how?
Google.
Google. Yeah.
They had that whole test about Assassin's Creed Odyssey running in a Chrome browser.
Yeah.
And it just
fucking
works,
outrageous
on quite average internet. So.
They've said if you've got less bandwidth, then we'll give you a lower resolution. That's a direct quote from who's that guy? Phil Harrison, who is the Stadia boss.
So
thanks for that, Phil. That's
for us,
fucking obvious.
We'd probably have like 144p and two frames a second.
Well, that's a conversation we can have in a minute because we need to get on with this and just change it. All Stadia games will require a constant internet connection. I mean, fairly obvious again because
it's
streaming. Can run. Oh, here we go. So Stadia can run on any device that has Google Chrome, including, as you said a second ago, phones, tablets, PCs, and TVs. Now, PlayStations and Xboxes have web browser functions.
Yeah, but they're
not
you
Chrome,
can't download
obviously.
Google Chrome. No.
I bet someone has somewhere. The Stadia data center PCs, where the games will actually be running, will use Linux. So the servers, basically, the servers where the PCs are stored,
This is all the.
are using Linux. How funny is that?
I don't know any of this is right. We're getting into the
You know what
specs and
Linux
stuff.
is,
Yeah,
surely?
I know it's an operating
Oh, okay.
system, but I don't know what that means really.
So the data center PCs, it's just Linux is a very basic operating system, which actually I guess that kind of makes sense because then it allows the computer to focus more on actually running rather than, say, if it ran on Windows, it'd probably be doing all sorts in the background. But I'm not going to read out the specs because.
Yeah, I want the 10.7 teraflops, which I don't think anyone really knows what that means.
No.
But I think the Xbox One X has like 4 or 5, and the PS Pro has like 3 or 4. So the whole point was it's more combined than.
Yeah.
But I mean that doesn't really mean much when it's like streaming from a different country. But yeah,
I'm surprised there's so much information about. I suppose because people want to know that it's going to be reliable. I was going to say about the data center. The memory, 16 gig of RAM on the data center PC. That's pretty good. Early on, releases from the newly formed first-party studio Stadia Games Entertainment. That threw me off. That weird little bit of glitched text. Will be smaller. So I'm going to start that again. Early on, releases from the newly formed first-party studio Stadia Games Entertainment will be smaller and aimed at highlighting the platform's unique capabilities. Interesting. Says not a lot without without being able to see anything. How do I word this? Without having any evidence of what they're getting at, it's kind of hard to get excited about that. But it will be interesting to see what it is. Read this earlier, this stands out to me a lot. So first party games will be Stadia exclusives and most second party games will be exclusives as well. The ones that aren't will have Stadia exclusive features. Doom Eternal has been confirmed for the Stadia. Not sure if that's first, second or third party.
That's
probably third, yeah. And they've sent dev kits to over 100 development partners. So do you think, because clearly now Google are wading into the console, or not the console, the gaming,
this has been a rumour
battleground.
Since I started gaming, but yeah,
they're going to have the most clout. They're going to have the most money behind them. Are they going to start buying up the studios that Microsoft and Sony can't afford? Are they going to go for complete market domination? I think they are. Of course they are. It's Google.
No.
Yeah, they are.
I don't think they will.
I skipped one, didn't I? Oh, so the Stadia controller is required to play games on a TV with a Chromecast. Presumably that means that if you're playing it on a different thing, you can use a different controller.
You can use mouse and keyboard on PC. You can use mouse and keyboard.
Yeah, I think also on PC you can just use.
There is also a thing that you can use Joy-Cons as well, floating around.
Okay, that's interesting.
About that, but.
So another quote from Phil Harrison, or not a quote, but according to him, the video game-inspired icons shown during the lead-up to the presentation are not indicative of the types of games coming to Stadia and were just for fun.
Oh yeah, this was a leak beforehand. There was a picture of like 5 different icons, and people were like, "Oh, that one means that Red Dead 2 is coming to it, and this one means that."
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know, some other games coming to it.
Just teaser images.
Yeah.
So again, thanks Kotaku. Hopefully they've now put what we still need to find out. So it's unclear what the minimum internet connection is to use Stadia, which actually is a good point because, like we touched on a minute ago, our internet is complete shite. So I very much doubt we'd be able to use it at all. It would make sense to me for Google to have a minimum requirement. Even though, yes, that will probably block out a lot of potential consumers. I think that will more entice. Well, will it more entice? I don't know, because someone else's connection won't interrupt yours, surely.
Internet is just getting better and better, and 5G is coming out soon.
Yeah, ridiculous.
So at some point, like 20, 30 Mbps, whatever that stands for.
Megabytes per second.
Yes, will be like
Really?
the standard. and hopefully that's not too far
I mean,
away.
it is the standard in a lot of countries.
Yeah.
I was watching a video earlier about it was trainer tips playing Pokemon Go in India, and they were getting 200 megabytes per second in Mumbai. Like, what?
What do you even need that for?
I hate to kind of be a little bit racist or whatever, but why's India got that? I know it's up and coming as a developing country, but shit, they're better. 207. Anyway, we don't know how Stadia will be priced. Good point. How much will it be? I think
subscription based.
Yes, I was going to say the exact same thing. Netflix, Spotify, it's just market trend, isn't it? What happens when Google decides to shut down certain Stadia servers or reallocate the data centers in the future? Well, does that matter? I mean, game companies shut down servers all the time.
Well, this is kind of a point we'll get to when we get to the our little chat about this, our top chat.
Yes. Is there a minimum technical requirement? Kind of the same as a minimum requirement for internet speed.
Well, during the presentation, they did like 5 different examples of signing in on each different device. So there was like a high-end computer, a laptop, a phone, TV, and then they were like, oh, by the way, this is like the lowest specs computer we could find.
Okay.
So I kind of think, obviously, you've got to have a reasonable computer that can like just run Chrome, but as long as the internet's fast, I feel like that's the way they're going for it. Like, it doesn't really
that'll make sense.
Really matter too much about the power of the PC you're on.
Another note on the Wi-Fi connection thing is that the controller requires its own connection, which is obviously going to drain a bit of your overall connection. So that'll be interesting. Let's say you've got the minimum requirement, suddenly, I can't actually use it after all because the controller takes up 10% of it. Interesting. The rest of this I kind of just had a quick flick through, and I either don't understand it or I don't care, so we'll move on from that.
A few other things I wanted to point out quickly.
Yeah, no, please do.
They, during the presentation, they made a big focus on, because obviously they're on YouTube, and like YouTube and gaming go hand in hand. And
I've stolen that from someone. I can't think who. We'll carry on.
They show off this feature where like if you're watching someone play a game, then you can click from YouTube, play this game. Like, say if they did Assassin's Creed Odyssey as an example, watching gameplay, and then you can just click play this game, a new window will open up and you'll be playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Wow.
And then they also made on one of the buttons on the controller is like a share your games like state. So like, say if you're in the middle of Assassin's Creed or something, I think this is what they were saying. I was watching this on the tube to work, so like I was just on like 4G. So you can share your state with your game, and then like someone else can go from that point, say if you're stuck in a certain spot.
Right.
Which they were saying was revolutionary, blah blah.
It sounds
I think
like
it's all about
play.
Share play. I remember
it's the same thing as
being
share
a
play.
thing. I can't quite remember the exact differences. It was a little bit different.
Okay.
But yeah, it was basically share play, which I remember being a big song and dance about on the PS4, but no one has ever used share play.
I was going to say, I don't think, no one does, do they?
But I think it's also, maybe I'm getting this wrong, but like, say if you're watching a certain game on YouTube, then you can go straight to that point.
Right.
Or that person's thing, if they've allowed it.
Why would you want that?
I don't know. I didn't really understand it.
Who would start a game like halfway through?
I don't know. Maybe, for example, it's Minecraft, because Minecraft will obviously come to us as Minecraft construction.
It depends.
And then
on
like
the
you can be like, you want the exact inventory they've got, and then you can like go in and do a challenge map. I don't know. It's all. This is a gaming platform based around like the future of content creators and things like that.
Right.
But on another point, this brings mobile gaming leaps and bounds ahead of the Switch.
They bring mobile as in on the move, not as in
like
literally
handheld
a mobile
gaming.
phone. Yeah.
But no, on a mobile phone, they were showing that if you have the right internet, you can play
and the
Assassin's
right phone,
Creed.
Surely.
Well, you just need a Google phone. Or a Google operating system phone, whatever. But you can play Assassin's Creed Odyssey on a phone, as long as you've got the internet connection.
See that?
But with 5G coming out
soon, that wouldn't be my issue. My issue would be, if we're sticking with the Odyssey example, I can't play that on a phone. You can't play a game like that on a phone. No, I know,
but it's a tech demo, isn't it? It's
proof
of concept.
Yeah, it's a gimmick. That to me is a gimmick.
But then also, I think this was one of our first topics. We were talking about the streaming future and all these companies like Amazon talking about streaming games. PlayStation have got PlayStation Now, which maybe is the future of the PlayStation platform. Yeah. And then we were talking about the Google and the Xbox rumours, and Xbox have spoken about Project X Cloud as well, which is streaming like their games on PC as well.
Yep. It's pretty much the same thing, just Microsoft.
Pretty much, yeah. So this week we're going to discuss the digital future, basically, and what we think about it.
Well, we're just going to carry on from what we were just saying, really, aren't we?
We appear to be heading towards a completely streaming future, not even just a digital future, because that's what when Xbox Live and such first came about, it was, this is the end of physical games.
It was, yeah.
But now, is it the end of buying games? Are we now just streaming, downloading games?
This was where I wanted to start, actually, is to compare it to the market leaders. Just adjust your trousers while your penis is head height for me. That's absolutely fine.
Cut that out.
Definitely not. Market leaders for streaming on the two other biggest forms of media, i.e. Why have you just moved my glasses?
You were like sitting on them.
Oh, thanks. For music is Spotify. For television or for films is Netflix, right?
Yes.
Now, hopefully, Stadia and xCloud and whatever Sony inevitably reveal, and maybe Nintendo do as well, maybe, who knows, Amazon might. Anyway, hopefully these companies and these platforms handle their profit sharing and their royalties more like Netflix than Spotify, because Netflix obviously reinvests a lot of its money into creating content for its service. So the amount of Netflix originals or Amazon Prime originals, for example, it's good. It's really good. They reinvest a lot of their profits. Spotify do not.
No.
And I listen to a lot of music podcasts, and I've heard a few interesting things recently where the guy the founder and owner of Holy Raw Records, which is an independent sort of heavy label in the UK, he was saying how he pretty much made the point of, why is there not someone at Spotify who's, the head of metal whatever playlist, saying, look, these bands are picking up some traction, why don't we give them some of our money to go into the studio and make a really good album, and we'll promote it for them, and then it works beneficially for both, because the band can say, we've got a new album out, you can only listen to it on Spotify, like you can only watch the Grand Tour on,
like the Tidal music,
like what Tidal tried to do, yeah. But Spotify, so that was one point, is why are they not doing that, like Netflix, or like I just said, the Grand Tour. Amazon give the Grand Tour production team a shit ton of money, but it works because you can only watch it on Amazon Prime, and I bet there's a hell of a lot of people who have Amazon Prime just to watch that.
Yes.
Yeah, as Clarkson has just agreed with. So Spotify, why don't they do the same thing? And then also, I was listening to another music podcast the other day, and the band that I'm sure no one listening to this will have heard of, but you know them. So Svalbard, the singer from Svalbard, was on this podcast, and she said that for...
On this podcast?
No, on the podcast.
She wasn't on our podcast. Okay.
If only, that would be great. She said that episode, in 2018, actually I'm going to make you guess this, for all of 2018, what do you think? Bear in mind Svalbard had an album that came out in, I think, sort of May last year. What do you think their royalty check from Spotify was? And this isn't per person, this is as the band.
Less than a tenner.
You're not even close. Honestly, it's depressing how minuscule this is.
It's something. It's like 0.003p per 100
I'll
plays
just
or
say
something.
12p.
Yeah.
That was Svalbard, and they're not a pub band. They tour nationally.
the Dome.
The Dome. They did just headline the Dome. So they're somewhat sizable. Yeah. And their revenue from Spotify for all of 2018, given that their biggest album to date came out in that year, was 12p. So basically, the point I'm trying to make to get back to games is these companies, this Google Stadia and xCloud, if this is going to work mutually beneficially for them and the developers, they need to reinvest in the industry, because Spotify don't.
So, yeah, I get what you're saying.
And I hate the fact that I use Spotify, but
basically, I get what you're saying, because Spotify don't reinvest. They don't. Spotify don't create anything.
Nope.
And I get that. I get what you're saying.
We've made a playlist and we've put someone on the front that you might not have heard of. Like, great.
Put in my. I have a degree in music business.
Oh, do you? Put it to good use.
Yeah, I'll say something about this quickly. There's so many different deals within like the music industry and stuff that everyone's looking at, like the Ed Sheerans and the people like that, and then like you saw with things like Tidal and such, where it's a 360 deal, which means touring, releasing music, merch and stuff is all done under one deal, whereas most bands who are signed and releasing music, which to get on Spotify is generally what you have to be, they'll have like non-exclusive agreements in place, so you can't just like, here's Spotify, will give you money.
Yeah.
So like, it's harder than that. But anyway, I agree with what you're saying, because Spotify, as you said, don't create anything. It also worries me about the digital future, because with all this stuff on Spotify gets lost.
Oh yeah, so easily.
All music is on Spotify pretty much, apart from like Taylor Swift or someone. And
Taylor Swift, a couple of Beyonce tracks, Jay-Z and Tool.
Yeah, and the way
everyone else.
And the way it works out in the music industry, going back to it again, is that for every 100 plays on Spotify of an album counts as one purchase in like the album charts. So technically, you've got to sort of like times it by 100 to get anywhere. If this is making sense, going back to the gaming industry, like, so then to get notoriety within just the online platform, then you've got to play the game 100 times or stream the game 100 times for it to count. I don't know how that works.
I don't know about. Well, actually, no, saying that, because it's. I guess to move on from that point, basically, we're in agreement then that they need to reinvest the money. They need to be more like Netflix and Amazon Prime than Spotify or Deezer. Although Deezer make a lot of podcasts.
Yeah.
Hey, Deezer.
Google are already doing.
I didn't think of that.
Google are already doing, I guess, with their first party people and then also second party. So they're not just relying on the third party. They've got a couple of people named, and obviously they're going to have to rely on some third party at the start. Yeah. But they can't just rest on their laurels, basically.
No. Okay.
But let's get back to the more general idea. So, digital future. Let's just go broad.
Okay.
What would you embrace a discless world?
So I'm going to tie this to music again now. So we've mentioned this on the podcast before because you called me out on it. I don't buy physical music. I instead go to shows and I buy merchandise because I just prefer that. I'm not going to buy gaming merchandise.
Yeah.
I'm not going to suddenly start going to conferences or whatever. I like having physical games, but then I don't know. It's a weird one for me to sort of decide.
See, there's a big argument that one of the big arguments is that once, like, you look at PC on Steam, which is all digital now, pretty much. Like, you don't get discs PC games really anymore.
Very, very rarely, yeah.
And they're so much cheaper.
Yeah.
Which
it's better for the environment as well.
Yeah, That's true. That too.
That true too.
Which generally, if you were to buy a brand new game off the PSN store, it's going to be more expensive digitally.
Yeah, it is. It's about 55, 60 quid.
Yeah. Whereas like in a shop, it's going to be like 45, 50 quid for a brand new game.
Yeah.
So the argument is like once discs are finally gone, then we'll be sort of console players will be on parity with PC owners, and everything will get cheaper.
In theory.
In theory, yeah. My position is, I do like physical things. Tying it back to music, I own hundreds of vinyl, quite a lot of CDs.
On that note, now every time I walk past HMV now where I work and see that it's all completely closed up, there's a vinyl of Ammo, the new Bring Me the Horizon album, and I really want it, and and it's like teasing me just behind the window. And there are a couple of albums that I now want to buy on vinyl because I don't know, it's almost like the past couple of months I've realised that it's not necessarily about having the vinyl disc, it's about having the artwork.
The artwork, yeah, that is.
But games aren't like that because the boxes are way smaller, and generally speaking, the artwork on video games, 9 times out of 10, is crap. They all look the same.
In comparison with music, vinyl is sort of like old game cartridges. Like it's sort of got a nostalgic aesthetic beauty to it, but also at the same time, like it's not like all this artwork bundled in. It's not a medium that you can still use either.
No, that's true. You can still use.
That you
vinyl.
can't put all the latest albums can go on vinyl, but you can't put Black Ops 4 on a cartridge and play it on your N64.
Yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point.
But yeah, going back to it, I've always preferred discs and I always preferred owning the physical product. That being said, I am a cheapskate, so I will just go for whatever's cheapest. And PSN deals can still be really good. And like, I don't really care about getting a new game necessarily like day one, unless it's a game I've been waiting for, like No Man's Sky. I spent like £60 on that. But like, for example, I still haven't bought Mass Effect Andromeda or Batman, because I still haven't played number 3 because I'm sort of putting those two off at the moment.
This is even more reason for Mass Effect. What is it, 1 or 2 that's your spoiler?
No, right. Let's quickly move away. Mass Effect 1 and 2 are such good games, and then Mass Effect 3 I've heard is controversial, and Mass Effect Andromeda is bad, so I kind of don't want to sour the taste of 2 really, really good games. That's okay. Yeah. And then going back to it, now it's like £9 on the store or something, and I think there's like £6 for Batman Arkham Knight.
Jesus.
So like in a shop it'd still be around a tenner. I'm just going to download it. Like I don't really like, you know.
Yeah. I think the other reason that I haven't fully embraced the digital future yet is because downloading games on it's not just the internet we've got here, but my internet or the internet in my parents' house. You know, everyone I know apart from Aaron has kind of either not great or decent internet. And I know that's kind of like a UK thing. As I mentioned earlier, India have got great internet. Most of the US has got amazing internet. Sweden, a lot of the Scandinavian countries actually have got very good internet. But if I'm going to buy a game, I want to play that game straight away. I'm buying it because I intend to play it that day. And I can't do that if I'm going to download it at the moment. I have to like leave the PlayStation on overnight or something, which I don't like doing because it's bad for the environment, because I'm not very good eco-warrior. But I think if we suddenly get great internet in this country, which I know you can get great internet in this country, but I don't want to pay out the arse for it, then I will embrace it more. But for now, I just like the instantness. That's not a word, but you know what I mean. Of just
instantaneous.
The instantaneousness. Is that even a word? I don't know. Of putting in a disc and
instantany.
Yeah, there we go. Who's Anthony? Sorry, what?
Instantany.
And just there it is. You play. But then saying that, these days you have to install the
everything.
disc.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's the problem. Like,
this is a
GTA
tough one.
5 is like 100 gig install or something,
it's
even on
huge.
disc. So that's that's also a bit of a problem. I
I can see myself getting behind it, but I think the biggest fallout from not having physical copies of games anymore is going to be the high street.
Yeah.
You'll lose GameStop,
Which
Game
we're
Shack.
already losing already.
Yeah, I mean, like mentioned HMV a minute ago, that's gone. Other than Game, there's not really anywhere in the UK you go. Well, the supermarkets sell video games, but if you buy a game from a supermarket, I just don't like you at all because, yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
but as you see, like, so.
But does that matter?
Forever, like, since we could have instantly been in the digital future when Xbox 360 came out and we first started being able to download games on your games console.
Yeah.
But the reason, like, we didn't was because Microsoft still needed game to carry their console. They still needed people to carry their console. To sell it,
yeah.
So these game stores were still extremely popular, so they still sold disc games there. Like, download is kind of a new idea for console games. But now with the Google Stadia, a completely like
hardware free,
gaming platform and no discs whatsoever. Like, the only option you have is to buy through Google. And that is exactly what they want.
Yeah, market
because
dominance.
Then they've got no middle party anymore, which is why games can be cheaper digitally, because they haven't got to sell to a third party who then need to make money by selling to you for more than what they paid for it. Business 101 right there.
Yeah.
So say if Xbox and PlayStation followed this path and were like, PS5 is just completely like software based, then yeah, that's the end of the physical stores and physical media.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of scared of that, because say if we did have everything streaming, like, I pay £7 a month for Netflix, and then all of a sudden, like, The Office US is taken off and doesn't come back on. What happens if, like, your favourite game gets taken off and doesn't come back on because they've stopped paying for it?
That's what they said earlier on that Kotaku thing, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, that's the kind of one thing about physical versus digital that I'm a bit sceptical about at the moment, because...
So no one can take it away from you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's yours forever. That is, like, your product. Like, say if tomorrow the PlayStation Store, like, I don't know, absolutely bricked it and was, like, hacked again, and then it had to close down forever, and then all that money you've spent on the PlayStation Store,
all those V-Bucks,
is just gone.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Scary. I'm still sort of in a... I'm trying to make my own mind up about it, because there's so many pros and so many cons. It's like... I do think... Well, it's not like I'm making a major claim here. It's plainly obvious that we are heading towards a discless future.
And everyone wants that. As I said, with the middleman.
Yeah. I think everyone does want discless.
Well, like the businesses behind it. Apart from Poor Game.
Apart from what, sorry?
Poor Game.
Poor Game?
Game. Poor Game.
Oh, Game, the store.
I was using poor as an adjective to describe.
Yeah, well...
The store.
I mean, that then becomes on the CEO and the upper people of game and the game stops of the world to, adapt with the times and sort of, stay alive. But anyway, we won't go down that. Touching on what you said a second ago about it being, the Stadia being hardwareless. So for me, and actually you as well, we don't have particularly good computer. I mean, your computer's total shite.
Yes.
Mine is just a laptop. It's got a decent processor, but it can't run most games because of the graphics card. So, and like my TV is connected to the internet, but I don't particularly want to have everything running through my TV. Like, I could easily sign into Netflix and Amazon Prime and blah 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 on my TV, but I don't, because it's all on my PlayStation. And I like having the PlayStation because, it's my Netflix, it's my Amazon Prime, it's my games, it's YouTube, it's DVDs, it's Blu-rays, it's everything in one. And I like having that. So I don't really know what point I'm trying to make here. But
so you prefer like having the...
I just like to have something. I'd like to have a box, that just does everything for me, rather than it all just being in the ether. And like I plug my dongle into the TV and there it all is.
Yeah.
Like, for some reason that...
But then I guess that's just how we've always been raised to have the box. But then like could maybe like a few years ago, like I don't know, 20 years ago, it would have been completely different. Like again, we'd be like, what, everything going through one box? We've got our DVD player and we've got our video player and we've got our TV and then we've got our PS1. Why would we want like one box for it? I mean, it's not a great example because everyone would be like, actually, I do want one box. But
no, because I'm sure people were like that at the time. I can remember a few years ago, well, I say a few years ago, about 10 years ago now, I was trying to convince my mum to buy me an MP3 player because I wanted one for like going on holidays and stuff. And she said, what do you need that for? You've got I had a CD Walkman and obviously all like my CDs. And I was like, well, yeah, but I can just put the CDs on the computer, put them on this anyway. And that to her was mad. And then the same thing happened when we used to have in the kitchen like a massive radio CD player and tape player, like all combi thing. And then they wanted to play the music off their MP3 players, funnily enough, through that, and they couldn't. And it was around the time that Alexa's got launched. I was like, we'll just buy one of them. And eventually they did. And now they've got fucking 5 of the things. Like, they're all around the house. So, I think you're right. It's just moving with the times.
I had a similar thing with iPhones. I remember thinking, you've got an iPod or an MP3 player and a phone. Why do you need both of them? My sister is still
like... My sister has a smartphone. I've got a Huawei P20. She's got a she's got a Sony something like that. She's got a decent Sony. Or, I don't know. Anyway, irrelevant. But she still uses an MP3 player. It's mental. And she plugs it into her little Fiat 500 with an aux cable. Like, your car's got Bluetooth. And anyway, I'm going to make her listen to this. Just so she gets called out.
Maybe we're going to leave loads of people behind in the digital streaming future.
They are, but... I was about to say those people need to get with it. But then that's me. I need to get with it.
Yeah, it's true.
This is a tough one. This is a tough cookie, Jeff.
I think at the moment we're in a very happy medium. Like, we've got the best of both worlds at the moment. Heavy streaming's coming along. But there's been a lot of people saying, Google Stadia, is this the future of games? Is this it? This is the future?
Well, mate, that's the title of the episode.
Yeah, but then I saw a tweet from someone from IGN who mentioned this and then was like saying it could be the future of games, but is this the only future of games? Because like, and I get what he's saying there, is like a few years ago was game streaming like a thing in our heads, really? The future of games was the PSN store and Steam. That was the future of games, like all on PSN. And now suddenly we're like, streaming is the future of games. There could be something like 10 years time around the corner that's the future of games.
Yeah. I mean, when people say, it's the future of this, they don't mean it's the indefinite future. They mean it's the future for now. It's like it's the next big thing.
Yeah.
Like Blu-rays. When Blu-rays overtook DVDs, they were the future, but they're not. They're not the be-all and end-all. And now we have Netflix.
But yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, the future just becomes irrelevant tomorrow. That was so deep. That
was quite deep.
What a quote. I'm going to have that on my gravestone.
What did you even just say? The future is tomorrow?
The future becomes irrelevant tomorrow.
I think many people have said something similar.
No, that's it.
God, this has been a bit of a headfuck these last few minutes. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
I think the more I think about it, it makes sense. God, I don't know. I also find it difficult to separate in my head streaming to just buying an online game. Or not buying a game through an e-store.
Yeah, so like just paying like full price for a game and downloading it.
And then like you say, that's mine. That's almost like having a physical copy. But then you go back to this the streaming thing of like, oh, I'm 90. Like, say right now where I am with Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Let's say I'd been streaming it the whole time, and suddenly, Stadia's taken it off the store, or whatever. It's not going to be a store, is it? Because you won't be able to buy from it. What's it going to be? Library? Yeah, probably library. I'd be enraged.
Yeah,
I'd go to Google HQ and burn it down, probably. Well, I mean, that's a bit far. I'm not going to commit arson, but
you're just an asshole.
Just an asshole. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's streaming that.
Well, the digital future is just discless, isn't it? Basically.
Yeah, I'm more up for a discless future than a streaming future.
But then we've got the future is now. Apparently,
there's another quote for your gravestone.
The future is now, today. That's a good one.
That's from a film, I think, isn't it?
I don't know. Because apparently there's that Xbox One S that's launching without a disc drive. I mean, apart from all the fake gaming people out there who are like, oh yeah, this is the first time it's ever happened. No. Does no one remember the PSP Go? Mental people.
PSP Go?
PSP
I remember that. Didn't they only sell that in Japan?
No. Didn't have a UMD drive.
UMD! Wow.
Those little things.
Those things were weird.
Yeah. Didn't have one. It was all digital. Back in like 2010, 2009, and it was all digital.
I can't remember.
People are crazy. Anyway.
Sorry, just on UMDs. I can't remember who it was or when it was, but I remember someone telling me that the first time, it might even have been you, the first time they got a UMD, they took it out of the box and then took it out of the plastic casing because the disc was inside a case, wasn't it, to go in the PSP?
That was me, yeah.
It was you. I thought it was. That was really funny. I can get your logic, but also
I didn't know how it worked. Anyway, yeah.
That's funny.
Sorry about that little tangent. I like my PlayStation handhelds. Fucking sue me. Where was I going? Xbox without a disc drive. So obviously this is sort of like a beta test for a console for the future, and obviously it's going to knock like 50 quid at the very least off the price of the actual unit.
It better knock some substantial amount off, you'd think.
It must do. Like the whole disc drive, that costs a lot.
I've just realised, just on disc drives, what's the one part of my PlayStation 4 that's broken? The disc drive.
Yeah.
Fuck this, let's go discless, everyone.
Yeah. But I presume it's going to be like 150 quid, I reckon, this thing.
Yeah.
And
sounds about right.
With things like the Game Pass and then just the Xbox Store as well, you've got hundreds of games there, which previously, like Xbox Live was just, it was like Xbox Live Arcade, which was like these little arcade games. But now you've got like all these games, like literally every single game that comes on Xbox is going to be on that machine as well.
Yeah.
All for 150 quid. And I'm tempted to get it because there's Xbox games that I want to play if it comes out.
Yeah, but then you've still got to pay for the games.
Well, yeah, but you've got the Games Pass, which is like £10-15 a month, and then you get unlimited access to all the games. So if something like that exists as well, so you've got the streaming, the purchasing a full game, and then you've got like, I don't know what you'd call that, the somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
The subscription
downloading. Subscription service.
So it opens up a lot of ways of purchasing games, and for the consumer, I feel like it's just going to get better with the pricing strategies. It's like gaming's probably going to be cheaper than ever.
Yeah.
Because you don't need all the hardware.
How much? I feel like we should probably wrap this up fairly soon because I still need to edit. But do you know? Because I don't. How much is an album on iTunes? Is it? I think it's like £8, isn't it?
Yeah, around
8-9 quid. Which is of course cheaper than a CD. CDs are no wonder HMV went under. 16 quid for like a brand new album. That's fucking expensive.
Normally it's about £20 for a vinyl as well.
Maybe. Yeah, but I understand that though. Like vinyl, you got to press it, we get big art. Anyway, maybe we'll get, and I might be being idealistic here, but I would quite like to see a similar thing to iTunes where you have the option of maybe having a subscription service where you can play or listen to anything whenever you want for £10 a month, or you just buy the thing outright for 20, 15. That would be, for me, I think I'd prefer that, because I feel like another thing with the subscription service is you're then going to feel inclined to play as much as possible because you're paying for it, so you may as well. Something like Spotify, £10 a month, but I listen to a shit ton of music and a shit ton of, I get my money's worth. Whereas a a Google Stadia whatever service, I know I'm not, especially at this point in my life, I'm not going to get my money's worth because I don't play enough games. I haven't played, other than maybe 2 hours of Steep, I haven't played another game other than Assassin's Creed Odyssey since October. So I wouldn't get my money's worth out of this. And that's just really occurred to me. So maybe for me, I'd like a best of both worlds, where I don't have to have a subscription service, or if I do, you can have it for, say when I finish Odyssey and I've got a few months where it's like, I haven't got a big game to play, then I can sign up for a couple of months or whatever. But bug on my laptop, fuck off. But then give me the option to just buy the game.
Yeah, but then it also does sort of, if Xbox is entirely in charge of the store of all games, it's just you can only get them through Xbox. Then that does give them the monopoly. I mean, it's on their console, but it gives them they price everything at what they want. You can now, say if you were going to buy something and you're like, it's £50 a game, and then go to Amazon and it's £40, or then you can, I know some places still rent games to you.
Yeah.
So you've sort of lost out on that choice, and you're getting controlled more. And then there's also, we haven't even touched on this, I mean, we've got to wrap up, but there's no pre-owned games anymore. There's no swapping games with a mate anymore.
Yeah, that's so true.
There's a lot of nuance to this, so we might as well wrap it up here, but leave your thoughts about the digital future.
Yeah. I was going to make just another closing point there, but you summed it up quite nicely. Maybe to end on a question, I don't know if this is the right word, but are you excited by this? Are you into it or not?
What? Google Stadia?
Yeah, let's just say Google Stadia or Project xCloud. Also, that's a shit name. Stadia sounds good. Project xCloud is the most terrible Microsoft thing I've ever heard.
That's not going to be what it's called. They always have project names.
I know it's a placeholder name, but still. Are you... Yeah. I'm not interested because it's going to happen.
Google Stadia excites me.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to succeed. Google can throw as much money as they want, but unfortunately they are the new kids on the block.
Yeah, but that works both ways, because I feel like, I was thinking this a second ago, this is going to go on for a little bit longer, with exclusivity, because this is, again, like what I said with Spotify, why don't they say, you can only listen to, let's say, for example, While She Sleeps on Spotify, so we've paid them, how much it cost them to make the album, whatever. If Microsoft, I keep saying the wrong companies, if Google Stadia buy up all these developers and suddenly, you can only play Ubisoft games or Bethesda games or, insert developer here on Google Stadia, that monopoly will build up. And the companies such as Quantic Dream, who have already jumped ship from being Sony exclusive, they're not going to be like, we won't go straight from Sony to Microsoft because that's like a kick in the teeth. But Google, who are the new kids on the block, we can go to them because they're new and shiny, and they're not going to upset Sony.
But I mean, Google is still they're a clever company like this.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
They're not just going to throw money at it and hope it works.
Yeah, they will.
Obviously, they're throwing money at it, but they're not just going to be like, here's $1 billion, let's fucking buy Rockstar.
Oh no, I think that's far-fetched. They'll give it a couple of years and see if it works.
Yeah.
But I can imagine them buying up places.
Eventually, but
smaller.
I feel like, as that article said, Google's got a track record of abandoning projects quite quickly if they haven't worked. That's a good point. I don't think it will succeed because
Google Plus, anyone?
Amazon and they've got their thing coming, I don't think they'll succeed as well, because I feel like PlayStation and Xbox are already doing this, and they're in the right position to be able to start doing this as well, because they've got the infrastructure, they've got everything behind them, including the developers.
They've got the nous.
Yeah,
they've got
so
the
they
know-how.
can start.
But I still think Google being the upstart in this is like their biggest weapon.
Yeah,
because they're like, no one has any ties to, you know, Google's competitors, because let's face it, they don't have any. Whereas you can imagine some companies would be a bit like, well, you know, we've worked with Sony for the last 15 years, we won't go to Microsoft, but we will go to Google, because who cares? And if Google offer enough money, which again, of the three, have they got more money than Microsoft? I imagine they have.
that's probably.
It would be close.
But then you don't see Microsoft like just throwing money.
And that, yeah, but that's the other
constantly.
thing. Microsoft are probably okay, but the point I'm trying to make is or not the point, but what I'm trying to say is I think, let's say Sony announced they're doing one too. Of those three, Microsoft, Sony, Google, the most likely victor surely is going to be Google. Surely.
I don't know. We'll see. Right, I'll quickly end this.
Yeah, let us know what you think. Oh no, go on. You got more.
No.
Okay.
I'll quickly end this with the Google CEO. The first thing he said when he walked out on that stage and started introducing this was, "I'm not much of a gamer."
Ugh, did he really?
Yeah.
Oh God.
So, I mean, obviously there's gamers there, but when like the top person calling the shots, like it's been proven that like the people in the suits don't actually really get the gaming industry.
No.
So we'll see, but yeah, let us know what you think.
I'm really surprised.
The Stadia, are you excited? It also it's not just consoles as well, because it's PC players as well. This affects.
Oh, it affects all of us. Let's all rally together.
Let's fight Google.
I'm very surprised when the guy walked out and said that some like meme lord neckbeard didn't just shout KYS and like throw something at him.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Kill yourself.
Oh, okay. That's dark.
Meme lords, edgy meme lords,
edge lords with a like can of Monster and some Vans that are checkered.
What? Checkered Vans? What?
Converse.
Nah, they all wear just shit shoes. Anyway, this was a really good podcast, I feel like, until the last 10 seconds.
That was quite a good podcast.
Sorry, I ruined it. Let us know what you think. We both just ummed at the exact same time. Let us know what you think in the comment section if you're on YouTube. Don't know why I said la. If you're not on YouTube and you're listening on a podcast streaming service, goodness me, we've come full circle.
Product. Oh dear.
I'm the physical product.
Right, let's start releasing every episode on vinyl.
Tweet us at Top Chat Podcast, because that's all we've got. We haven't got Facebook or anything, have we? No. What? Fuck that. What's the point? Thanks for listening. Share with your friends, your mum, and your nan, as always.
Yeah, as always. I don't know if anyone's done that yet, but
fucking better done. Yeah, that's it from us. See you next week. Normal service resumed from now on. A couple of opinions on the way, so look out for them on YouTube. Bye for now.
Bye for now.